Hello, hello, my dear friends, you've reached Elena's bar. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. She'll help improve your fitness, but there's also so much more. 'Cause here are just a few things that this channel has in store. There's barre and there's Pilates and there's belly dancing too. And many styles of yoga, so I'm sure there's one for you. Then watch her practice piano stream from right within her home. She's in such big condition, she'll outrun the metronome. Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre. They're the best place on the internet, the very best by far. It's not just the piano, but the ukulele too. The guitar and violin are even more that she can do. She does so many different things, it's hard not to lose track. I nearly didn't mention that she posts on her Substack. Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. Yeah, controversial topics may be brought up for discussion, but try not to provoke her or she'll swear at you in Russian. And sometimes certain topics can make quite a big impression. So remember, you take part at your own risk and your discretion. Yeah, Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre. The best place on the internet, the very best by far. You might even meet Elena if you're quite a loyal fan. She's got a fixed male cat, but she's so desperate for a man. We've really got it all, and you couldn't ask for more. So sit right back and watch Elena shave a 3 or 4. Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre. The best place on the internet, the very best by far.
Hello, hello, my dear friends. Welcome back. Welcome back to our Saturday's discussions. Hi, guys. How are you doing?
Just fine.
Just fine. Hungry, you say?
Great, great.
Great. Okay, I thought you were hungry.
I am a little hungry, but I can wait.
Okay. Well, you'll have to wait for quite a while, guys. I was doing my best, after you told me shrink it up to 6 slides. How can you shrink 24 slides into 6 slides? It just blew my mind, so I couldn't do it.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Overload.
So Elena has enough data to go over that this could be about an 8-hour stream.
No, we're not going to stay that long. If necessary, we will finish some of the slides next time. Because, seriously, there is so much information, guys. Once you start digging into it and reading, it's just like, oh, this really could be useful. Oh, this could help somebody. And yeah, I'm having trouble selecting what's important, So yeah, let's get into it. We will look at the definitions first. And feel free to leave us your comments. Let me add this banner here. Leave us your comments. Tell us what you think about the topics today. Remember to please like and subscribe. It helps the channel a lot. And let's get into it, guys. I'm going to edit to stage. So welcome to our propaganda live stream. So here are some terms and definitions. Let's look at what is lies, false, and subjective truth. I also brought up evil because it's essentially what happened to Eve in the Genesis, right, Nick? We always associate the lies with something bad, right? And then objective truth, it's moral good, right? So the lies are not genuine. They are not true. They intentionally try to mislead you. And
they use part of the truth a lot of the times. They use truth.
They use half truth or incomplete truth. We will look into the definitions that are relevant for propaganda on the next slide. But this is why it's so tricky for people to figure out what's happening, because they hear part of the sentence, it makes total sense, and we've talked about it in our previous live streams with the yoga community, where they use half of the sentence that makes total sense, but then the rest of it, if you're not paying attention, you're going to be so misled. And if you don't know the facts, if you don't know the truth, if you don't challenge what they are saying, you will believe into it because it's easy to fall into it. They use half truths. They just either omit or choose
Mm-hmm.
to say
What's convenient?
convenient. Yeah.
Convenient for their side to get what they want, their outcome.
Exactly. So it's very inaccurate. It's lacking naturalness and sincerity, not essential or permanent. Use temporary supplemental parts of structure. This is just definition from Google, I think. Oh no, Merriam-Webster.com dictionary here. So it's based on mistaken ideas too. It's inconsistent with facts, and it's threatening, sudden, or deceptive. Okay, we will look into what kinds of manipulations and tactics the propaganda is using. And guys, just to sum it up, a lot of these tactics are also used in advertising. It's basically
Okay, I got a
everyone
question for
today.
you.
Okay.
Where is the most critical place that propaganda is used against a man? Where do men have to be aware of this propaganda?
Divorce and family courts.
Uh-huh. Exactly. Now, when your wife files for or wants a divorce or gets involved in divorce and family court, all propaganda. Facts don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be a story, which I call a narrative.
Yeah.
And superficially, the narrative makes sense. And then there's all kinds of extra information and propaganda that goes out to sway the masses, the other women, your family, her family, your friends, your employer, to paint you as bad.
Oh,
And
yes.
position her to get a lot. So propaganda isn't just used by foreign countries in wars. It's used by our government.
Mm-hmm.
It's used locally in government, and it's used in the family. It's whenever they want people to believe something, basically suspend common sense.
Yeah,
Suspend logic, facts, and objective morality.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I skipped that part because we've talked about objectivity and logic and reality so many times. So yeah, the truthful information is based on facts, guys. It's okay here. Some theories that examine the nature of truth include realism, the idea that an abstract objective reality exists independent of an individual's perception. That is important. And a lot of people think that objectivity and objective reality doesn't exist. There is no objective truth. So it comes down to my truth, your truth, which is subjective to the person who is promoting that truth, you know?
Right. So is that subjective truth objectively true? Get the
Of course not.
Right. No.
okay, so that's of course not. It's not objectively not true. You see how it
Right.
spirals, right?
Yeah. So yeah, keep guys in mind that there is no your truth, my truth. There is objective truth, but then in your mind you can construct the idea that but though that objective truth doesn't matter. It's just your truth, my truth. If you believe that false narrative. So
And you
yeah.
cannot detect propaganda by figuring out if someone's lying.
Mhm.
Okay, now this is a nuance because, okay, I'm going to use divorce family court. A woman develops a narrative, a story that rationalizes what she's doing, pulls pieces and facts from the last 10 years, puts them together in a nice little package, and then says, oh, he's thinking that, or he did this, and she exaggerates that, and this is what it means. And then She actually believes it. So she will rattle it off. Okay, her story may be inconsistent, but if she believes it, she's not showing the tells of lying. She doesn't think she is lying.
Of
It's
course.
her truth.
It's
She's
her
telling
truth.
her truth. You
Mhm.
can't detect the lie by body language and all that. Now, maybe if you're
Not the
super sophisticated, maybe, but I'm talking about 98% of people will not pick up that she's lying, because you have to be dispassionate and go through her story to find inconsistencies to
Mhm.
see that it's untrue. Is
See,
that
I
your
remember
experience,
when I
Nick?
was doing that. See, I remember doing that, and I hire lawyers, but I sometimes think it's just it's like a assembly line.
Mhm.
They're going through the information, and I'm like, don't you see this inconsistency, or is it just, or like, why am I the one always pointing out the inconsistencies in the argument?
Yeah, well, women often they refuse to see them, even if they can see them, because everyone can see them. It's just a matter of how much they want to self-deprecate themselves, and just think otherwise. It comes down to the will. If they don't want to see, they're not going to see it, no matter how hard you try to convince them otherwise. So yeah, let's look into some terms and definitions for propaganda. So propaganda is dissemination of information, facts, arguments, rumors, incomplete, half-truth. This is what you guys mentioned. Lies to influence public opinion. It's often conveyed through mass media. What is mass media?
Mhm.
It's TV, radio, audiovisual means. Social media, it's a big one today. YouTube, print media. Before, throughout history, you would see more print media was used, and there are so many magazines and journals. As I started digging into it, it's just like it's never ending process, guys. Okay. So then it's manipulation of people's beliefs, attitudes, and actions by words, gestures, banners, monuments, music, clothing, insignia, hairstyles, design or coins, even postage
Mhm.
stamps, etc. So everything that surrounds you could be used to propagate a specific idea. And
No, that's the nature of being of a human. I mean, it could be
mhm,
propaganda, it could be also true,
yeah,
or it could be half truth.
exactly. So it's not free exchange of ideas. It's pushing a specific narrative. It doesn't actually want you to explore other ideas. So what are the intentions of propagandists? And by propagandists, I mean people who are using these tactics to manipulate you. Um,
No.
they, ha- they have a specific goal or set of goals. They deliberately
Mhm.
select facts, arguments, and displays of symbols to present them in ways they think will have the most effect. So all of the training actually I did back in college, we were learning all of these tactics, how to manipulate people. And guys, I hate any kind of, especially emotional manipulation, because I studied it a long time ago, and I like a lot of the people who have been studying it, they study it with the purpose so that they can sell something to people, the narrative,
Mhm.
the specific thing. And I'm like, I don't want to do it. So yeah, may view themselves
Yeah,
as
but sometimes
educators.
they expect that. Like when you sell cars, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I never tell them, I don't lie to them. That
Yeah,
was one thing I didn't do. But you have to realize you're not, they can go down to, the next town 10, 20 miles away, has a similar dealership, or go to a different brand. And they're all selling, they're all presenting things.
exactly.
They're all going
So
to present facts and arguments. So you just might as well present, depending on study the person, know what they expect, know what they want, and tailor your pitch to them and do your best.
do your best
And
and
yeah,
don't lie, right? To
okay,
the best of their ability.
you want them to feel good about buying that car from
Mhm.
you.
Right. Right.
And you know what? if you charge them an extra $200, you make an extra $200, but they walk out feeling good about it, as opposed to if they could have gone down the street and saved that $200 and walked out without that good feeling.
Right.
You know what? They're paying for the experience and the feeling. I
Exactly.
mean, that's just
Yeah.
human nature.
It
So
is,
it's
yeah.
not all about facts and price. It's you're actually selling the experience. And so propaganda also is to throw out this stuff and basically persuade, change people's thinking, get them thinking emotionally rather than going through the cold, hard facts. Because propaganda won't stand up to cold, hard facts in a
Exactly.
balanced point of view. It is to motivate someone to think superficially or emotionally.
Yep. Yeah. Well, and these propagandists, they often view themselves as educators, promoting the purest truth. They emphasize or distort certain facts. I see Nick is laughing there. Emphasize or distort certain aspects of truth to make their message more persuasive, appealing, encouraging people to believe that their recommended actions are the best actions to take. Yeah. But
I mean,
unlike
you see
yeah.
this. You see this with all the conflicts around the world. Certain national media will portray one thing one way, and another side will portray it another way, and their facts don't all align. So you don't really know which one's even telling the truth half the time, or
Exactly.
most of the time. You
Yeah.
know, something happened maybe in this region between these two people, and this happened, but all the
Yeah.
specifics, I don't know.
Yeah, but unlike educators, they are not presenting various sides of an issue and grounds for doubting for the statements they make. They don't present advantages and disadvantages of every action. And this is a big point here. It's very, very important, guys, because when they are only presenting you one narrative as if this is the right decision to take based on their philosophy that they are trying to push on you, they don't want you to question their philosophy. They don't want you to challenge it. And they definitely don't look from multiple angles at this problem. This would be more like educational approach.
Well, I remember, stories when my parents went to college and all that, where you could challenge the professor on a certain topic, and you could engage in a respectful but short exchange of ideas and challenging premises. A lot of times, if you do that now, no, you're out. They'll shut you up, make you feel
Exactly.
stupid. They won't engage the argument. Many times, they might kick you out of the class.
Do you think they are propagating a certain narrative there and refuse any challenge on purpose?
Yes, I do. Are they being intentional? I don't know. I can't assign motivations to people. I can look at their actions. They may actually believe they're doing good by convincing you that their point is right. They may be indoctrinated and then indoctrinating you because it's the right thing to do and be a true believer.
Well, and this is why we see women, and I'm going to bring it up to women because women say, but this is the truth. This is my truth. I've experienced it, and she might have experienced it because she believes in it. You know, it's your truth.
Exactly.
It's
Women.
coming back to that subjective reality.
Okay, this is a generalization, but it almost always holds true. Women evaluate beliefs and truth almost exclusively based on their own personal experience. So if two women have different experiences and you present the same facts, they will come up with different conclusions because they're each interpreting based on their own experience. Oh, yeah, I remember something similar. Or a friend of mine told me about something that happened to her. And so she experienced that, or has direct knowledge of the details of how that one case worked out. And then she's going to use that to form her understanding and her beliefs about it. It's, in other words, it's not going to be abstract, theoretical, thinking outside of the box, putting yourself in someone else's shoes. How would they feel about it? No, it's all based on how she feels about it, based on her own experiences.
Yeah. And then
That
based,
is pretty much the essence of subjectivism.
yep, yeah. And then based on the worldview of reactor, whoever receives the propaganda, it could be, if it's self-evident truth, then he would think of it as educational, which links to subjective truth. If it's relevant to his experience, his feelings, emotions, then he will be, oh yeah, you know, it is true because it applies to me. And
Is
yeah,
this not how the sisterhood works in the propaganda?
well, it is, yeah.
Team woman, right, Steve?
Yeah.
So, and then they express their opinions very strongly or positively as they were facts. Yeah. And they can view it depending on their background and how willing they are to challenge it. They can view it as propaganda, like we view it, right? Or they can see it as, but it is the truth.
Well, you see the same thing in like some of the more experiential churches, and I'm not here to debate, charismatic churches or not, but it's the constant appeal to, well, I have this experience, therefore this must be true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is nothing new. Thomas Aquinas talked about this. And here's the statement: quid recipitur ad modum recipientis recipitur, which means whatever is received in the mode of the receiver. Whatever you say is always received or understood in the mode, whatever the thinking experience of the person receiving it. Now, if that person is able to think rationally, objectively, they might be able to receive it in that manner. But if they're subject and experiential in their understanding, that's all they're going to be able to receive.
Yeah. So let's look into some terms and definitions also here. As I've mentioned before, the same tactics are used in false advertising. They sell a product, they convince a buyer to buy the product. They use the CTA, call to action words. They package the product so that they know how the person thinks. This is why the consumer insight studies are being done on people before companies are selling their products. They know their interests, they know everything. And we used to do it back in college. Like we would do this presentations and we would do some research on how consumers think. It just
In car sales all the time. Oh, she's gone. She'll be back.
sorry guys, yeah, my camera overheated again. They use it everywhere. If you want to be a successful salesperson, you have to know what your consumers are thinking about, what they want, what they are interested in, because you can push your product through different means of communication, using different tactics based on what their interests are. So yeah, that's a big deal in marketing, when they are packaging goods and marketing it towards specific target audience. Okay, let's look at emotional manipulations. So there are universal emotions, according to Paul Ekman. He wrote a book, and I was trying to check his book to give it to you guys. It's about lies, how to detect human lies. Okay, I have it on my Kindle. What's the name of the book? I forgot. I was reading it a long time ago. And there is a show that's based on this book. It's called Lie to Me, if you're interested in just the summary. Oh, yes. Telling lies, cues to deceit in the... hold on here, Paul Ekman.
Is this in your Marry Me episodes?
No, it's not there. Well, it's a part of it, because I studied it before. Okay, yes, telling lies, clues to deceit in the marketplace, politics, and marriage. You can check this book by Paul Ekman. Paul Ekman. Yes, the show Lie to Me. It's a TV show. You can watch it on Netflix, or probably not on Netflix, maybe on Amazon Prime. We actually have this show, and we rewatch it occasionally, where they are looking at people's emotions, and there are 7 emotions that people usually express. It's anger, it's contempt, it's disgust, enjoyment, fear, sadness, and surprise. So you can read these facial cues, and then they are science-based. Okay, so go watch that show. You can really learn a lot, and then when you are talking to people, you can actually see some of these expressions that people are experiencing, and you can detect whether people are lying to you or not. When they're saying one thing, but their face exceeds it, and it expresses what the body never lies, if you pay attention, unless they are sociopath or psychopath, then that's a separate story. But yeah, so they use these emotions and manipulations to persuade people. So they could be based on feelings, on personal experiences, positive, negative association. If you remember that toilet paper advertisement where they were using a cute puppy, to sell the toilet paper. This is how they draw connection, and it's like so soft and cozy if you use this toilet paper. And you guys did a great job with the advertising on your live stream this week. But when was
Yeah,
it?
it was fun.
On Monday. It was a fun one. So yeah, they use this positive association, oversimplification, quick fix or solution. I see it in fitness all the time. In 21 days, if you follow all of these steps, if you do this program, you will be able to do the split. And if you know anatomy, even a little bit of anatomy, and turn on your rational thinking, you will say that no, it's not true. Well, maybe some people who did ballet before, they would be able to do the split, but not a person who has never exercised. So they're easily debunked. And then they use repetition multiple times. So what are women raised into? Oh, you are goddess, you believe in yourself, you go girl, you are perfect the way you are. Repetitive information from multiple streams, from multiple people, from multiple means of communication. And then personalization, of course, gaslighting, CTA, and disinformation. Then logical fallacies. We are not going to look into them. I actually have a book for logical fallacies, guys. I recommend you to buy this one. And it's a good summary for logical fallacies. And they show you the example of how they are used, how you can approach these logical fallacies so that you don't fall for them. And you can detect people who are using these fallacies on you. So I just try to summarize some of them here. And then a big one I see a lot in advertising also, appeal to authority. using a bribed public figure, typically editors, politicians, corporations, to sell an idea. So if they manage to convince a big corporation in a specific narrative, then the corporation is going to do most of the work for them. Like all of these cosmetic companies, they are selling women the beauty products because they're feeding into the narrative that your sexuality is evergreen.
So in these advertising things, if for men and women, you see they always have a celebrity. A lot of times they have the celebrity come up and push this thing. Well, that's because that celebrity represents some sort of inherent authority. Oh, they're a popular person. Oh, they got clout. They must know something, even though they probably have no actual, many times, no actual experience in relation to the product. Just they were told, oh, you should do this advertising for us and we'll give you some money, maybe some free product.
Yes, exactly. This is how the reviews usually work when people reach out. And I got a few companies reaching out to me and a few individuals. They say, can you do a review for this product? We'll send you this product for free. It's already biased because you are sending me this product for free and you're just begging me to give you a positive review. Come on. I don't think I want to do that. Well, unless like I'm the product is really good, then like you can say, because you don't really want to piss them off, because then companies are not going to send you any products. They are not going to deal with you. But this is the game that a lot of content creators are playing, so that you guys know. Yeah. I definitely got a few people reaching out to me. Can you do this? And then I talked to my husband, and he said, "No, like no, you're not doing that, because if once you present yourself that way, then people will know that you are for sale." In a way, so companies can bribe you. They can send you some stuff, and then in exchange for a positive review. If I review things, I usually buy them myself, and then I'm like, okay, this lipstick doesn't really work, or something like that. Yeah. Again, here, propaganda of the deed. It's staging, faking the events, news to extract and give more economic aid, to influence recipients' opinions or actions without building recipients' economy. This is where all of these NGOs and the companies, that the funds that are being created to support a specific population are based on. So yeah, I'm very, very suspicious about those, because they don't necessarily go to the recipient. They don't really care, like they sell one thing to the recipients that they are not actually getting help, or they get the fraction of the help. The rest of the money, where does it go? You never know. So
All the relief and support, some of the relief and support organizations, like over 90% goes to the organization, but only like 10%
exactly.
to
Yes.
those
So how
people they're
much
helping. Right.
every time you invest into this, you try to help people, you need to realize that only the people will get only the fraction of the help that you are sending to them. They're not going to see all of it, right? Because it fulfills somebody else's pockets. And like from economical standpoint, I mean, it kind of makes sense. But these people who are doing this, these organizations, they don't actually care about the people that they are publicly trying to help. So yeah, be careful with that. Then psychological warfare, psych war, used at power or war times to demoralize and confuse the enemy population, put the troops off guard, induce them to surrender. During peaceful times, it focuses on political divisions and confusion in societies with adversary states. Yeah. So they are doing all of the prep work. They have the agenda in mind. Okay, let's start a war here. Like, what can we do now to divide the population inside this country, right? Create some chaos, create destruction, diversion. And you guys talked about it. They are distracting people with something else. that people are paying attention. They're too busy with the conflicts, with the red meat, the big things that are happening out there, but they're not paying attention to what actually is happening. Yeah. And then brainwashing is intensive political indoctrination or manipulation. In education, it's compulsory reading material, physical or mental exhaust to prevent people from questioning it. It could be torture. During the war times, it was. Overwork, deprival of sleep, basic needs that people need. Solitary confinement, threats, disturbing confrontations, sorry, couldn't read it, humiliation in front of others, etc. And this is what you guys mentioned too. Like you ask your teacher a question to challenge the idea, and then they often take it as personal attack, and then they humiliate you in front of others, and it signals as an example to others that if they question your idea, they will be humiliated too. Psychology of conformity, they are not going to question anything they hear.
We do that in the churches to the men that they also do that in some of the court systems as well. They push these re-education and brainwashing while they deprive you of your kids so that you want to compromise your moral and objective view of reality and how you operate in reality. They get you to compromise, to be a better beta, to be a good brainwashed slave citizen. You can't say slave yet, but servant of the United States.
Right.
Also the churches will do this to the men that step out. Like I know many men, it happened to me, and then they flood you, they try to cancel you, and they try to make you, oh, did I do something really wrong? Did I do something really wrong? You keep self-questioning.
Start questioning yourself, even though you didn't do anything wrong. But the intention is to enforce that belief in you.
Well, this is a hard thing to figure out because people doing it truly believe in what they are doing. In other words, they don't think they're lying. This is part of what they have chosen to believe to navigate their life. And so they're not evil. It's not an evil intent to manipulate you into doing wrong. It's to rationalize how they run their life, and they're true believers. They're not deep thinking people. They've never questioned these things and really looked into it. They're more of a follower, a sheep mentality, and they're trying to get you to conform to the propaganda that they have chosen to believe. Can you explain that further, Nick?
And so it's try to make you conform and get in line with the party. Stop being a troublemaker. All my life I've been the troublemaker. I don't conform. I conform to what I think and believe is to the truth. Have I been wrong sometimes? Yes. And I admit when I'm wrong, when I'm confronted with the facts, yes. But usually this works on low IQ people or men or women with no sense of courage to be able to withstand such a campaign upon their persons, their life, and their brain.
Yeah. And I think the
keep in line or else. Keep in line or else.
The problem with intelligent people, sometimes they think that just because they don't fall for these manipulations, other people shouldn't fall for them. But you have to realize that they may not get the same training. People are mostly sheep, they are followers, and they will not challenge what they are being exposed to. And they're not being taught that.
Most people, propaganda in this what you should think push will work on most people. But if you have some insight or higher IQ or whatever trait, you look at that and say, hey, wait a minute. This doesn't make sense. Some of this is bullshit. And then you start looking at, no, no, I can't go along with this. Now, you're not going to be popular.
Oh,
You're
of
one
course.
of the few people who might realize this. And now you're not one of the team that just goes along. So you will be attacked for that. Right, Nick? You will be
Oh, yeah.
attacked.
Just get used to it. Just
Mhm.
smile. Here we go
Enjoy,
again.
enjoy it. Yeah. Well, okay, then public relations promotion, also part of propaganda. Okay, it's just a better name for it. It's a fancier name to call the same concepts and principles out. Then the publicity clouds. Yeah, they don't usually have any educational intent there. Okay. Examples: signs, sounds, gestures, postures, structures, clothing, visual signs, flags, all of these guys. Okay, and then electronic media, emails, blogs, web page, printed media, newspapers, magazines. I looked into Cosmopolitan magazine, and they actually, I think it was in Cosmopolitan, and it's an old magazine, guys. It has an old history. They were promoting short haircut for women. You know why, Nick? Short haircut, because you talked about it here on your live stream.
No, to make them more masculine.
To make them more masculine so that they could do the male jobs in the factories. They were trying to convince women to get out, and this was in the Soviet propaganda as well. Women take the gun, take the sorry, I shouldn't have used that, but like take the how do you say that? The long
Long range hole puncher.
hole puncher, right? Take it and learn how to be the tractor woman, so you can drive a tractor. Replace men. We will look into the examples, into the specific examples of this propaganda. So it could be anything, guys. Then printed. Okay, I said that. Audio media, radio, podcasts, audio message, audio visual media, which is the strongest and most effective. It's TV, internet, YouTube, Rumble, any source, right? Theatrical performances, public speakers performances, speeches, face-to-face conversations, fairs, and etc. Okay, drivers of false beliefs. Yeah, it's an interesting slide here. Cognitive drivers. So what contributes to false beliefs? It's intuitive thinking. It's relying on your experiences, your emotions. It's lack of analytical thinking. And then cognitive failures, neglect source cues and knowledge. So you refuse the facts, objective reality, because you rely on your truth. Then forget source. And over time, when it's done long enough, this is why people have been brainwashed for for decades, since the first means of communication have existed, the newspapers, right, the books. People have been brainwashed for a very long time, and then they forget eventually that they are supposed to challenge it. They are supposed to challenge the facts. They are supposed to rely on the facts and find counter evidence. The lack of counter evidence leads us to being brainwashed. And then illusory truth, familiarity, fluency, cohesion. What was it you were trying to say?
Who relies on intuition to decide what they believe?
Women. All the time.
Wow. Cognitive failures. Who says, "Oh, I don't do math. I don't understand statistics and all that."
Mhm.
Um,
Women.
with women. Oh, and they just know uh, what things are based on their experience, familiarity. Yes, I've heard this. They're verbally fluent. Use a lot of words. That'd be women.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. And I'm going to jump ahead. Socio-affective drivers. Source
Sure,
cues.
go ahead.
Oh,
Mhm.
in group. The hive mind. Oh, gee. I'll leave you to decide. Emotion. Oh, using putting that in. Worldview. Okay, what? Again, that's a group identity thing.
Gynocentric. The
My truth
gynocentric.
versus what other people say, or my
Mhm.
in-group beliefs. Yeah. Okay, now men have false beliefs too. But you got to look at the factors going in here. And I think this might indicate that in general, women might be more prone to false beliefs than men.
Oh, yes.
Correct me if you know what, you can challenge me on that. Just my belief. It's my intuition telling me this.
Your
Well, actually,
intuition.
the AI has mapped the male versus female brain, and they are significantly different in that
Uh-huh.
regard.
I think Rollo
Now,
Tomasi a while ago did a live stream, and he was showing the difference between male brain and female brain. I don't remember the live stream, guys. If I find it, I'll link it. But yeah, it's significantly different. And then
now you'll always find the naywalt where a
Mhm.
woman, every once in a while, you'll find one that thinks more logically, but they still tend to that emotionalism. But they are out there. They're just not, I don't think, are the norm. So,
Okay, here I'll address that. The NAWAL. Not all women are like that. You find one of those? Yes, here it is. She is like that. She just happens to be in the moment or not predisposed to being highly emotional, or she's not emotional at the time. Therefore, she tends to be more reasonable at that time.
Exactly.
She's not like that at this time, but
and
throw emotions at her, and yes, she will be like that, and it won't apply.
and she was probably raised by a stable father that taught
Yes.
her.
Yes.
Could be, yeah.
I just wanted to add more to the source cues here. The elite groups, the sisterhoods goes in there too.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. Interesting slide. This is an interesting article, guys. Go read it, okay? It's on nature.com. I did put the source here. I can add the links to all of the additional articles I used in the description box later. Then strategies to counter misinformation. Wow. Identify likely sources of misinformation. Traditional news, sponsored content. Ooh. So you see, even the content creators who are getting super chats, they could be also under this category because it's sponsored by the viewers. People are paying for that specific content. They're supporting that specific narrative, that specific philosophy. Then, of course, social media, politicians. Okay, let's look here. Anticipate misinformation themes. Prepare fact-based alternative accounts. Myth has traction or misdirection is expected. If myth is not widespread, continue monitoring, withhold debunking, but prepare for quick response if myth escalates. Ooh, isn't it what we are doing, guys, with our live streams? Huh?
A little
Okay,
bit.
a little bit, right? You see here, deploy correction. So correction can be preemptive, and this is what we are doing here today. We are warning people that this is happening, so people can pay attention, and maybe if they are thinking, analyzing content, right, they can detect it in practice. So yeah, factual explanation, preemptive warning, generic warning, inoculation, information and media literacy interventions. And then already when it happens, it's debunking, plausible alternative casual explanation, details better than.
Her video went away.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, my camera is just glitching today. Then, so how do you debunk it? You present the fact, then the myth, then the fallacy, explain a myth, fallacy, rhetorical technique, and then repeat the fact. You are reinforcing factual explanation.
You have the thesis, the antithesis.
Exactly.
You show where
It's wrong.
the antithesis or the truth versus what is false. You show how you demonstrate where it's wrong, and then you reassert, your thesis.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like what you do in academic papers. Right.
It's called thesis, antithesis, synthesis.
Yeah, but I'm not a Hegelian, so
Okay. Well, it comes from Hegelian. And yeah, you can borrow. You don't have to be a Hegelian to understand this dynamic. Well,
I don't think the truth keeps moving. I think the truth remains. It doesn't have to adapt to what is false. That's my point. The Hegelians can be accused of this synthesis of this truth versus this opposing view. Well, there's a synthesis. We'll bring them together.
There's the Hegelian basically says someone is doing this on purpose to manipulate me through these three paths. Another way to say it, never let a crisis go to waste. Use that crisis to change your thinking. Okay, wait, go back up to the top of this slide. What's the thing? Strategies to counter misinformation. There's an assumption that's not stated here. First of all, you have to have doubt. Am I being bullshitted? Doubt. Is this propaganda? Am I being bullshitted? Is there misinformation here? Have doubt. You need that doubt in order to identify and to actually engage in this process. If you're a full believer and you don't doubt anything, there is no chance you're going to uncover any misinformation.
Yeah. And there is a question here from Elena. I think you saw it, Nick, right?
Oh yeah, I responded.
It's counter to your religion.
So are we the red pill clowns or other people?
I guess Dalrock's terrible. Rollo should not have quoted Dalrock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, anyways.
I don't care. You know what? I'll quote anybody. I mean, even a blind man can find a jewel once in a while.
Well, and see, when you're quoting,
I don't have to agree with everything anybody said to say, hey, they got something right here. I agree. Let me quote them. I agree with them on this.
Yeah, because when you take it personally, and then you avoid people, even smart people who are saying something right, that could be helpful, then you take it to your personal level. People that you don't like personally might say something that will change your mind, that will help you. So you don't take it personally. If somebody is saying something worthy of listening to, and that person is somebody that you don't like, it's still worth it to listen to this person, because he might actually say the truth. Okay, so let's look into a little bit of history here. We will just skim through it. So atrocity propaganda was used during World War I and World War II, when they were exaggerating the facts that were happening. And then swastika is part of propaganda, anti-Semitism also.
Hold on. Yeah. Atrocity propaganda used World War I. Yes.
Mhm.
The Germans having Belgian babies on pitchforks. Yes,
I
that
remember
was
that.
World War I. World War II. Yep. Oh, Gulf War. Iraqis going into Kuwait and throwing babies out of incubators on the floor. Yeah,
Didn't
that was
happen.
some ambassador's daughter saying that. Propaganda.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. October 7th, where the Palestinians, the Hamas, went into Israel, and they beheaded babies and raped women. They're sorry, folks, not been
It's get
documented.
over.
They didn't have enough time,
Mhm.
and this sexual
Mhm.
bestiality bullshit is used everywhere, and it's used today. And when you see something over the top, you better make sure it's documented. Yes, it's possible. But
Mhm.
wait until it's documented. And if it's not documented, it's propaganda, and it's still happening today to get you to emotionally decide, oh, I'm siding with this group, this
Mhm.
nation, against those bad people over there. It's
Yeah.
still used.
So true. So true.
Okay,
Steve.
sorry for using that bad word. Maybe it was quick enough that the AI won't.
The problem. I don't care. Anyway, let's move on here. Then we have communist propaganda. Anyone is familiar with Marxism? Right? So they were promoting equality, equal, not gender, equal classes, equality between classes. Same idea as feminists are using, equality among gender, right? And then it was implemented by Lenin in the USSR. Lenin defined propaganda as the use of historical and scientific arguments to indoctrinate the educated and enlightened publics. Oh, speaking of enlightened publics, here Rachel Wilson in her book actually mentions a couple of elite girls. I don't know their names. I usually I'm bad with names. I remember the concept and the idea. They were also from the elite, highly educated women who pushed feminism in church. So it always goes from the educated classes, because if you convince them, then they can work on the lower classes, let's say, like less educated.
You want to
Notice here.
yankify everybody.
Also, notice here, social sciences. Oh, Steve, didn't you mention before that if a woman has degree in social sciences and psychology and all of that?
I have mentioned something like that.
Nope.
Wow, you see? Well,
Aaron Clary talks about that. The hard science versus soft science. Yes, anything social science is a soft science.
mhm.
That means it's based on beliefs not really provable by fact or logic. Yeah, they can cite some study, and then I can cite a study that refutes that study. So it's kind of a belief. It's a philosophy system that probably isn't based on logic, based on what you should think in theory.
Yeah. Well, they used agitation to exploit uneducated and unreasonable people. Then there were agitprop techniques to influence and mobilize. They're still using it. You know, with all of these conflicts between nations, I know for a fact Russia has still very strong propaganda inside the country. And it's used to mobilize people. It could be military mobilization. It could be just mobilization against that specific nation that they are fighting or preparing to fight. Also, remember, they can do the preparation work.
See, I don't believe that Russia uses any more propaganda than the U.S. government. I think they both use it. They all use it. The U.S. has instigated what they call color revolutions all over the world to influence and change who's in power in different countries. Yes, propaganda, manipulating things in other populations to get what we want. Does Russia do it? Of course they do. Does China do it? Of course they do. Does the U.S. do it? Of course it does. Does Britain do it? Of course. To
All
think,
countries.
oh, we're pure and they're evil.
Yeah,
No,
right. No,
come
it doesn't
on.
work that way. Well, and we talked about purist truth before. If you look at it, like when they are trying to sell you the pure idea of something, it's most likely they are propagating you. So, yeah, don't buy into these guys. For the propagandists of political economy, look at that. Soviet teachers of social sciences were receiving like these pamphlets that they could use to indoctrinate their students. And then Блокнот агитатора. Okay, here it is. I did show a case here. So Lenin, it's this book, the green one, where he defined propaganda. Okay. And then this Блокнот агитатора, it's agitator's notebook. It's a summary of brief speeches for mass conventions that people could look into and then perform.
Hey, yeah. I just thought of something along with that, the rant I just did. A Bible verse. Proverbs 30:20. This is the way of an adulterous woman. She eats and wipes her mouth and says, I've done nothing wrong. Okay, so this means that someone says, I'm all good and I've done nothing wrong, yet they're guilty of the same thing that they're accusing someone else. Someone else, the other country uses propaganda, but oh no, not me. I'm so proper. I've done nothing wrong. Yeah, don't believe it. It's true of an adulterous woman. It's true of nations. It's true of you. It's true of me. When I say I am so moral that I wouldn't do this. So, well, maybe you should look at what I'm saying with a little bit of suspect if I'm trying to put on too many airs of righteousness.
Yeah. Oh, and it also applies in the world. So when women say, oh, I'm not like that, I'm not like that. She is like that. Yeah. Don't blindly trust people, what they do and what they say. Okay, let's see here. Feminist propaganda. Oh, guys, look at that. Is a form of communication that promotes feminist ideas and values. Some examples of feminist propaganda include women are treated unfairly. Okay. Our society prioritizes male perspective. Well, the divorce code would beg to differ, right? Women are
This is victims. The narrative. This is the narrative.
This is the narrative, exactly, yeah. Women should have the same rights as men. And you know it's propaganda because the fact, reality contradicts it.
Yes.
And then feminists are fighting for equality of social, economic, and political power for women, right to vote, run office, equal pay, own property, abortion, and reproductive rights. Then ending sexism. Oh, Steve, how dare you? You brought up all of those ads on Monday. They were so
You know what?
sexist.
I just want to comment and just get my position clear. Men and women are equal in the exact same way as a donut is equal to a banana.
Yeah. Okay. Ending sexism and exploitation and oppression. I just don't understand how women are being exploited today. I really don't. When I look at facts, what happens in our society, I don't see how they're being exploited. Fighting gender stereotypes. Okay, they are fighting traditionalism. And then we hear them saying, but we want traditional men. Well, you're fighting against traditional men. You're fighting against tradition, right? And sexual
and their own
violence.
nature.
Yeah. Sexual violence against women. Right, when they are falsely accusing men. Expanding choice. Of course, people should be able to develop their own talents and skills. Yeah, right. Go get yourself useless jobs and degrees.
HR.
Right. Or social sciences that have no objective value for our society.
HR only exists for, well, nobody heard of HR until, I don't think, as far as I know, until you start having these plowmen in the workplace.
Mhm.
And they had all these complaints, and they have to force this crap down men's throats and tell men, oh, you can't say that, you can't do this, you can't do that. And he's like, man, so a lot of guys are just like, man, I don't even want to say anything to anyone.
Well, and this is how they quieten you. And then when they quieten one party, everything we are being exposed to today is just that stupid narrative that they are pushing, because there is no contradiction. There is nothing that would challenge it.
Hey, what came before HR departments?
You had unions, I guess.
No. What was it called before it was called HR?
You're fired?
No. Okay. In the 70s, even early 80s, it was called the personnel department.
Oh.
And they managed persons. Then they changed the name to human resources. Oh, I guess you
Sounds
stopped
good.
being a person and now you're just a resource.
Resource.
Is that
Ah.
dehumanization of people? Seems to me
Wow.
that happened. I'd rather deal with a personnel department because they view me as a person rather
Mhm.
than a human resource, which is impersonal.
Oh, it's very impersonal. Yeah, you are not a person anymore. You are a resource. And this is how women view men today. Oh, men, you're not humans. You're just donkeys that produce resources. And who's in charge usually of this HR departments?
Usually some butch feminist.
Nah, of course. Shocker.
A Skittles. She might be a Skittles person as well.
Yeah. Well, and intersectionality, gender, race, class, sexuality, and other factors are connected. Uplifting marginalized groups will lead to greater gender equality for everyone. Oh, really? At the expense of everyone else, I guess. How isn't it a cluster B society? How isn't it narcissism? Yeah, we will protect these minority groups at the expense of everyone else. Now everyone sacrifice your interests, your like the truth, so that we can promote this. Poor people who have been victimized, so they are manipulating the minds of people to believe that they are victims Well, this is how feminist propaganda was sold to women. You are a victim. You are so poor. Go get it from the rich. Go get it from somebody who produces resources, somebody who pays taxes, right? And give it to the poor who can't do it. Women on paper are so strong, powerful, and independent, but when it comes to resources, it's like, oh, we still want the alimony and child support.
The system would not exist unless it was governmentally propped up.
Of course. Then disrupting power, acknowledging and disrupting system of power and oppression can lead to understanding, advocacy, and change. Yeah, right. Well, this is their thoughts behind it, how they support themselves. So we know that feminism has gone through 4 waves. The first wave was focusing on property rights and the right to vote. This wave included mass demonstrations, debates, and establishment of international women's organizations. Alliances. Do you remember alliances? Then second wave focused on equality and anti-discrimination. Third wave started in 1990s as a response to the second wave's perceived privilege of white straight men. White straight women. Okay, so this is where the Black Lives Matter took its origins, right? Then third wave, social media activism.
Wave.
Oh, fourth wave. Didn't I include here? Gosh, I forgot to include this one here. Okay. Well, the third wave is... Oh, sorry. Yeah, it says it's twice. I'm confused now. Okay, so this is the fourth wave. It's a typo, guys. Social media activism, Me Too movement, meaning of empowerment, fempowerment, equality.
Can I add something to that one?
Sure, go ahead. I'm going to
Blue hair.
All right.
Oh, nose piercings.
Freedom of choice.
Yeah, well, a nose piercing, like the pig ring in the nose.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, I'm a boomer.
Well,
That's
even
my
like
opinion of those
LGBTQ.
nose rings.
I'm not so sure I make all the distinctions between the waves that everybody else does. I think pretty much everything was there in substance and form in the first wave, and it just fleshed out over time. It exploded on the scene more and more in different times in history.
Mhm.
Yeah. Give an inch, they'll take a mile.
Oh, yeah.
Just takes time to get to the mile.
Of course. Yeah, the more they get, the more victimized they feel. The more power, the more control, the more resources they get, the more help they get, the more suppressed, oppressed, victimized they feel. It's never enough.
The safer a society, the more they have to be afraid of. When the world is unsafe and they have to depend on their man to protect them, it seems like things work. When everything becomes so safe that you don't really need a man to protect you, then everything in the world is now scary, and you're looking for boogeymen under every rock and behind every rock and bush.
Yeah. Oh, do you remember that bear experiment? They were asking women, would they prefer to be with a bear in the woods or with a man? And a lot of women said a bear. Because they don't see men as safe anymore. And a bear is much safer than a man. It's just
no.
stupid. Yeah. Well, okay, here are just examples. You've seen these posters, right?
Yeah.
At 40, not married yet. At 50, a suffragette. You know, this word always fascinated me because English is my second language and it has the same root as suffering. You know, the suffrage with suffering. It has something in common, don't you think?
Well, that was
Yeah,
kind of
well,
a ploy on the uneducated peoples of the time.
Right.
yeah, there's been prankster men going out there to interview women on this subject.
Mhm.
I'm starting a petition to reduce women's suffrage. Will you sign my petition? And do you know, there's a lot of women who really want to reduce the suffering of women, so they'll sign a petition to reduce suffrage in women.
Yeah.
But you know what? That probably would reduce their suffering.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably would. They would think, I'm like, no, you probably have more stable homes, more stable society. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just interesting how they use exactly that word that has the same root as suffering, the suffrage. Like you go vote for female rights, and then it's like go vote for female suffering. Because women are actually suffering now. Like, look, they don't
Yes.
get the men that they want. They don't get the men that their biological nature demands. They get the Sims. They get this LGBTQ guys. They are suffering, guys. But all of the rights that they wanted for themselves. Look at that. Okay, so here are just a few examples of the communist propaganda. So here, future is female. You've seen this one, right? It's not communist, but this one is. It's in Russian. So women go learn how to use a tractor, replace male tractors who went to fight the war. You see. And that's another one, the hole puncher. Take the hole puncher, and they show a woman, and they are addressing it. Workers, female workers, female employees go take this hole puncher. Yeah. So here, well, yeah. Rachel Wilson, in her book called Feminism, The Secret History of Women's Liberation, women initially didn't want the right to vote. They were fine under men's order. So feminism was pushed on them, guys. Yeah.
No, well, actually, yeah. And a lot of the Christian churches were originally very adamantly against this thing, but give people time and propaganda. Uh, attitudes begin to change.
Yeah, kinda. Early on, there was a feminist element within at least the evangelical mainstream churches. The Christian Women's Temperance League.
Yeah.
And they were feminists, Christian feminists who wanted to control male behavior, basically advocating for alcohol prohibition. They were also strong in pro circumcision. This is around the 1900s. Yeah, they were the true believer Christian women that wanted to control male behavior.
Mm-hmm.
I think they had too
So
much
this
time on their hands.
this concept that we need to prohibit alcohol because men are not bringing home their paychecks and they're going out in the bars and they're drinking and whoring it up and they're not supporting their families and bringing their paycheck home to their wives. They're abandoning their families. Oh, what's that sound like? Man bad. We need to control him. What's
Mhm.
happening now? Same thing. Man bad. We need to control him. He's trying to get out of his duties. We need to force him to pay child support to support his family. Same theme.
Yes.
And you know what? Men care about their children. Most younger men, or in general, men are anti-abortion. Women are pro-abortion. Who
Mhm.
is supportive of the life and the future of children? And most men are absolutely devastated when they lose contact with their children. It's on their heart. They want to support, and it's their legacy. Their children are their legacy.
It took
Most
me
men
8 months.
do not
It took
want
me,
to abandon their children.
Mhm.
it was 8 months after that crap happened. Took me 8 months to physically be with my children in person again. And I was supervised while I was going through all the custody evaluation and combating all the propaganda narrative. Yeah. You don't
Yes.
think that
So
that's like
all of
torture?
this,
That's like torture. That's torture to a man.
yeah, because also kids' lives get ruined. Women completely don't care about what will happen to their children. Once they leave the guy, once they alienate the father from the children, it's going to be detrimental for the kids. This is how you grow the useless people for the society. And look, feminist propaganda goes against female and male nature and God's design for both sexes. Because men are being brainwashed, and we will look into it. And we did look a little bit with Luke Perry and CDL on Thursday. I did throw some male propaganda for them. Because men are being brainwashed to behave in a feminine way, to think and behave like a woman, to support the female narrative. So yeah, it goes completely against the biblical hierarchy and men's presence while converting woman into goddess.
She can do no wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're the heroes.
Yep.
The
So
hero
here,
single mommies.
exactly. Okay, Nick, we are going to have fun with this one because these are the common phrases I've heard since I've been analyzing content, guys. And this, you can see my mouse, right? This poster on the
Mhm.
wall, it was taken from the gym that I used to attend. Okay, this is everywhere, guys. It's everywhere. You are
No, I need to tell
amazing.
this. If I go on a no, I need to go on a date with a woman and say, no, 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 no. The poster says
The poster says, yes, the poster says here, you are amazing. You are strong. You are brave. You are wonderful. You are kind. You are beautiful. You are unique. Guys, I'm not coming up with this stuff, okay? It's out there. You are important. You are perfect. Here you go, guys. You are perfect. Where do you think women come with these delusions? You say, oh, but they are
that's
so
what
crazy. They're so delusional.
no, no. So you didn't that's just like the perfect test. Like so a woman will believe they'll believe this about themselves, right?
Uh-huh.
And then I'll bring this like, yeah, I should bring like this little just like a prop just to start a conversation with some woman or something. I'm
Yes,
like,
yes.
yeah, isn't this great? And then I say, yeah, I am so amazing. I am No. It says I'm perfect.
Oh, like you mean use it for men?
Yes, yes.
Oh, for men! Oh, we
Right,
did
that way.
that! Well,
They all know it's bullshit. It's complete bullshit.
exactly! You guys, man, just for experimental purposes. And then do this, okay? This is your homework, guys. You date a woman and you talk about yourself like women talk about themselves, okay? I'm amazing. I'm strong. I'm brave, right? I'm wonderful. I'm unique. I'm perfect. I'm smart. I'm worthy. I'm loved. I'm enough. Tell this to a woman. You are enough, and just watch your reaction. Wow, Nick, this is powerful. So it's just one example, guys. And then on social media, I'm putting them together here so that you can see the connection between the two, right? Because the same kind of bullshit narrative is on social media as well. It's from some fempowerment, yeah, you can even see here, fempowerment account for women. It has big cloud. So you are loved, you are liked, you are valued, you are worthy, you are enough, you are needed. Oh, okay. You are amazing, you are beautiful, you are authentic, you are sufficient. Okay. You are cherished, you are unstoppable. Like a weapon. Unstoppable. Nothing can stop you. And then what else is here? Men are bad. Men are evil patriarchs. Remove patriarchy. You are strong, powerful, and independent. It's just a summary of this too. You need no man. You can do everything
no
yourself.
man.
Right. I need no man. We've heard it so many times. All of this is bullshit, guys. Okay. So you are so special and unique. You deserve nice things, good attitude, etc. You are worthy of attention, love, whatever, validation. They can put whatever they want there. Pursue your happiness. That's another big one. And then
Sisterhood lingo.
Right.
This is team woman lingo.
Team woman, yeah. You only live once, so follow your dreams, follow your heart. Everything is based on your emotions. Your feelings and emotions matter. It's important how he makes you feel. You see, he needs to be emotional, supporter, provider, and everything else. Okay, follow your heart, or gut, sometimes they say. You are perfect the way you are. A man must be emotionally available for you. A man must worship and pedestalize you. A man must earn your trust and good attitude. If he doesn't prioritize you, he is not worthy of you. Sisterhood of morales, support other women. That's a big one. And then be pro-abortion and reproductive rights. Be pro-illegal immigration. And then pro-LGBTQ, everyone is special and unique, deserves to be happy. They are pushing all of this crap that we see in our society through women. And then I have more examples for you guys. So have you seen this movie by any chance, the Barbie?
No, I have no desire to watch it.
I don't want to watch it either. But okay, this one. Destroy all men and masculinity, reveal the goddess within you, promote more promiscuity, prioritize money and clout and your independence from a man. And this is the kind of content that we see a lot on social media. Okay, due to personal reasons, I will be ignoring anything that feels forced, fake, unnecessary, or unaligned with my growth and healing. These are the affirmations that women hear over and over again.
Well,
repetition.
If they feel it's unnecessary, but that doesn't mean it's not necessary.
Exactly.
So they could be all in their feels, like, but I feel good. It's like, no, you actually diagnosed with the terminal illness, and if you don't treat it, you will perish. But I feel so good. This is not aligning with how I feel. You're an idiot.
Yeah. Well, the concept of need and the right things to do, it's completely missing there because it would require self-discipline, which they don't have. Sis, you will touch so much money in September, claiming it now. It's like this is
Astrology for you.
just astrology, right?
That is just manifesting your future.
Yeah. Sis, I don't care if it sounds unrealistic. We are achieving it. And you see how they are team woman, right? We're doing it together.
You're just manifesting
Yeah.
these bogus ideas. You know what? How many women believe in these bogus ideas? Just manifest what you want.
Yeah.
You know what the male equivalent of that is? If you want it, work for it.
Mm-hmm.
But women want it, but don't want to work for it. Therefore, I'll manifest.
Right. And well, I see some content creators, they also use the same female techniques on men too. They say like, oh, you just guys manifest. You start doing these affirmations and all of that. And it's using the same feminist techniques on men. You just add a different message to it. But the result doesn't change because it's still brainwashing. People, it contradicts the reality. If something contradicts the truth, it's in your mind, you will be this. It actually creates more black pill guys. Because if you look at it from like psychological standpoint and see what effect these affirmations have on men, they just say, oh, I'm so perfect, I love myself, I don't want to deal with women, I'm so great, you know.
Sounds like a flamer.
Mm-hmm. Well, here is more. Fuck the concept of waiting for the right time. Time is simply time, and it's whatever you choose to do with it that really matters. And this is how they get away with it, because whatever you choose to do with it, yeah, it does matter what you do with your time. It's half truth, right? But then fuck the concept of waiting for the right time. So do it now. Pursue your dreams, follow your heart now. And then I feel my sexiest when I do what I said I was gonna do. Discipline and intentions is power, and power is sexy. You see how women view power? Wow.
Yeah, okay. That last three words, power is sexy. Sexy, okay, where does the sexiness come from? Yeah, it's in between her legs. Empowerment, It's like vagina power.
Yeah.
When women get into the empowerment, they worship their own yoni, not their belly button, their yoni.
Of course. Then the manifestation is real. Here you go, guys. You are wrong. We are all wrong here. Here, manifestation is real. Start speaking positively. Start speaking positivity in your life. Oh gosh, and I've seen so many positivity gurus. They just think that if they tune into the right vibrations and set their mind for positive thoughts only, good things are going to happen to them.
Yeah, tell that to the apostles.
Change the way you think.
Only one lived. Right? Only the Apostle John's the only one that wasn't persecuted and unalived for his faith. So, although the Apostle John was persecuted, but he wasn't unalived.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all
hey, but just start speaking positivity in your life.
Yeah.
It's your best life now, Mr. Osteen.
Yeah.
Charlatan.
Oh, change the way you think, change the way you speak. Well, exactly. That's what you just said, Nick. Yeah. Easy peasy, right? Here's more. Choose.
You do want to have a sense of being able to accomplish something, but you don't want to be deluded thinking that just because if I think it's going to happen, it's automatically going to happen. So
Yeah. And here is more. Choose you, because when you start choosing you, you start attracting everything that is also choosing you. Oh, really? So if a woman is delusional, narcissistic, toxic, she is choosing herself, then by that logic, she should be attracting the best guys she can get, right?
Yeah, well, the best if she chooses herself, the best man she can attract is a man will also choose her and put her on a pedestal and
Yeah.
serve her.
Yeah, well, this is why you see the inconsistency here, because women biologically are not attracted to that guy. They are not attracted to Sims. But this is the guy that they will attract, who will worship and pedestalize her. So technically it is true, but it contradicts female nature and how they are
No,
brain.
it doesn't. No. That's why she gets married to the good provider.
Oh,
And
I
then
see.
really wants the other dad on the side, open
Mhm.
marriage, whatever, because she's entitled to that.
Yeah.
Yes, she can have both.
Hmm. And here, look at this one, guys. Girl, they're going to talk about you no matter what you do. So make sure you are doing things that bring you peace, happiness, and fulfillment. Let whoever think whatever. So when we see women on big podcasts, like, do you really think that it's going to impact their lives? Of course not, because they all believe that men are going to criticize them anyway. Um, they're just doing it to get more clout. They're doing it
Yeah.
to make themselves happy and feel fulfilled, because their priorities are all messed up. They've been brainwashed into wanting clout, attention, money, validation, independence from men.
they're going to be miserable cat ladies.
Well, yeah, eventually, yeah, they all get there. And then another one. I admire women who are highly aware of their worth and still be so humble, kind, and supportive towards other women.
Notice, I was thinking, okay, this is good.
But
Oh, not towards her husband. Oh, other women.
other
Team
women,
woman.
sisterhood. Yes.
Yeah.
It
Do you
started
want to
so
answer?
well. It
Do you
started.
want me to answer this question? He asked this one.
Okay. What is the difference between your prayers and this positive shit?
I'm under no illusions that I'm in control. I'm not in control of everything that happens in life. I'm praying for a certain outcome, but nonetheless, not my will, but his will be done. Sometimes that includes suffering.
You're praying for God's will in general, whatever that entails, instead of him to grant your wishes. Now, I will say that a lot of Christians pray for God to grant their wishes. That's not how we're supposed to pray. If you look through the Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Okay, so you're praising God. He's in charge. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Okay, his will. Lead
Right.
us, give us this day our daily bread. They provide for me. And
Forgive us
This
our
is to, and forgive us our sins or trespasses as we forgive those of others. So I'm going to screw up. You got to, I'm asking you to forgive me. And you know what? I'll keep in mind other people do the same. Okay. And then lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. That means, lead me not into temptation. Okay. There's going to be temptations and suffering. Don't let me encounter something that I don't have the strength to overcome. And, suffering might come my way, and lead us not into temptation. Temptation means, I hope it's not, or I'm asking you to provide me with the strength that I don't fall to the temptation. So that is a prayer. Is there anything manifestation in that prayer?
no.
Is there anything, God, give me what I want? No, that's a true prayer. So maybe that's a long-winded answer to what's the difference, but that was a good question. If your prayer does strays from that, remember, Jesus said, this is how you should pray. Okay. Got anything to add? You're the preacher here, Nick.
No, we also pray for all the good things that come in this life, and we pray for our daily bread. And our Father doesn't give us, snakes for presents, basically. A good father does gift his sons with good things. So, yeah, you should pray for good things, but also know that he's a loving and good father, and that heaven is not here on earth. This life includes suffering as we become like Christ himself, who endured much in his estate of humiliation, his sufferings, being beaten, scourged, his passion, death on the cross, and burial. It's not all good. And what did Christ say? If that you could remove this cup from me, nonetheless, not my will, but thy will be done. And he died on the cross. Yeah. It's not all rainbows and sunshine, and you're not guaranteed that in prayer. So this positivity mindset, you can be positive in following God's will, and that God has a good plan for you. All things work together for good for those who are the called, loved of God, who love God. But life includes suffering. Don't be delusional about that.
So, we're not trying to tell everybody they need to be Christian. Yeah, I guess they should, but that's not what
No, you
Nick
asked the
and I are
question.
saying
That's
here.
why. Yeah. You asked the
We're
question. So
we're the main point here is what you see Christians professing and promoting, not necessarily what what uh, what the Bible says or traditional Christianity has promoted. So just because a Christian says it does not mean it's a Christian concept.
I can't hear you, Elena. You're muted. You're muted.
Sorry, I was
There.
drinking water and I forgot to unmute myself. So here, let's get back to the topic. Feminist propaganda from feminist fitness instructors. Sexual liberation. You see, it's just a few examples of you guys. You type in yoga or any other type of fitness activity on social media or on Google, you will see a lot of promiscuity there. So what are they spreading? They're spreading more whoredom, more sexual liberation for women. Are they teaching fitness classes really, or are they basically just showing off?
If you're gonna impart wisdom to others, the fitness instructor, you either gotta show your ass or your breasts.
Pretty much. Yes. This explains why I don't have a lot of female followers in particular. Okay, let's see here. Feeling sexy after taking a class from tonight. Wish the whole choreo should fit on reels. Oh my goodness. We are not allowed to swear on social media, but we are allowed to show off our butts and breasts.
You know, probably a pole dancing exercise class.
Of course.
You know, that's very useful.
Okay, let's see more. There is more, guys. Here are others. Okay, there is no space for shame in a body that knows all parts of it are holy. Nick, this one is for you.
Which one?
This one. There is no space for shame in a body that knows all parts of it are holy.
Well, why does women, when they're imparting wisdom, do they either need to show their ass or their tits?
Mm-hmm. Oh, like at the gym. Yeah. Like at the gym yesterday. I was just minding my own business, dude. My girl was this lady purposely walks in front of me. Oh, are you using this bench? Even though there's a bench all the way on the other side, right? She could have used, right? That was open and available. No, she proceeds to looks behind her, then bends over in front of me. I'm like, really? Like,
oh, the women go to the
she
gym.
tried to act like she wasn't looking, but she was.
You know, I think
I was going to work out here.
I have an undeveloped thought here and observation based on the feedback that I've been receiving from you guys and also what I've been watching in the gym. Women go to the gym. If they want to stay strong and healthy, they would go to the group classes, actually. You know, they would attend a group class where the instructor will like bark on them occasionally, correct their posture and alignment, right? If they want to show off and get hooked up with a man, they will go and use the equipment. Am I right, or am I getting somewhere with this? Well, Jim, Luke Perry says here, gym game is better than Tinder.
Well, you know, what you're saying is just common sense. If you want to be seen and recognized by men, you have to go where the men are.
Mm-hmm. The men are at the gym, so women will go to the gym, and they wouldn't go to the group fitness classes where it's mostly women, let's say. They would go to the equipment parts where there are more men. Okay, here is an interesting comment. Elena, a person cannot hold Christian views on marriages and the red pill at the same time.
Sorry. We actually covered that a lot at the Resurgence of Sanity. So we have a bunch of stuff on the red pill. Steve has stuff about the descriptors, and I have something on like is the RP amoral, you know.
So yeah, Ellen.
First of all, Nick came up with this. Okay, first of all, red pill, is it truth? Yeah. Yeah, it's pursuit of truth. Can truth be counter-Christian? No, it can't be. First John, or Gospel of John, verse 1, or chapter 1, verse 1. In the beginning was the Logos, and the Logos was God, and the Logos was with God. Logos is logic, reason, common sense, truth. Okay, we all say it's the word in English, but it's Logos. So if it's true, if it's pursuit of truth is a moral good. And if you pursue truth in the red pill, in the nature of women, and it's reflected in the Bible, that is true. And so when you can find the same truths revealed in the Bible, yes, red pill can and should be Christian. The problem with most Christian churches is they dismiss the truths of the red pill and come up with their own narrative, this fuzzy bunny romantic baloney.
Okay, look here, guys.
He's also talking about the myth of Evo Psych, which can't be scientifically proven. You cannot prove that. That's supposition.
Mm-hmm.
Is monogamy natural or unnatural, Nick?
It's natural.
Is
It is,
monogamy
well,
anti?
but it's also unnatural. I'll put it. It's natural and monogamy is natural and unnatural in one sense. It's natural
Okay,
by
if
creation, but it's unnatural due to the fall because we want more. Men tend to want more than due to sin. Our desires have rung them up, and we want more than what we ought to do
can you be
or ought to have.
pro monogamy and still be in the red pill?
Yes.
Luke is asking, monogamy is natural?
Yes. Because these
Okay.
are Evo psych presuppositions that are it's part of the RP community, but it's not canon.
Okay, monogamy is natural. Yes, God created man first. Man had dominion. Adam named all the animals, and he said, "God, I'm lonely. I found no one suitable for me." So God created a mate. Okay, a companion, a
Mhm.
helper, not a boss, a helper. So he
Mhm.
wanted one who could be there with him. He didn't create a harem. Now, the fallen man, yeah, he wants to spread his seed at a base level. That's true. But most men, at their essence, they want one woman to bear his children and leave, have his progeny and leave his legacy. So yeah, that's a desire for monogamy. Now, that's good enough for most men. Yes, certain men want more than one woman. Okay, that doesn't mean all men want more than one woman.
Yeah. Well, shall we move on, guys?
Yeah. We're getting derailed.
We're at 2 hours. How much do you
Yeah.
have left?
Oh, I have
You
a
need
few
to
more
move it into a
slides.
second
Oh
stream?
gosh, guys, sorry. This is I was trying to make a slide about body positivity here. Now we have a few slides left, so let's just finish it off. I don't know why I didn't catch. I probably tried to type too many things. So this is a fat chick trying to do yoga here, and like embrace your journey, embrace your body, love yourself, all of that. You're perfect the way you are. You are enough. Remember that, right? So this is how you get fat chicks. When they see that it's welcomed everywhere, then they have no incentive to work on themselves, because they like nobody's telling them like, look lady, it's unhealthy. You will die from heart disease. The number one cause of death for women today is the heart disease, unhealthy diet, and the lack of exercising. So here, propaganda from spirituality, self-love gurus. Here, I am. I'm my biggest fan, because I understand that it's not about who is behind you, but who you are. Get up and enjoy a beautiful day. And then here, prioritize yourself. You see here, this is how we create cluster B society. Think positively, do skincare routine. You see, you prioritize yourself. All you need to do.
Sure.
And then, well, we kind of covered it already with the feminist propaganda for men mostly. Well, and for women too. Love her more, love her better, pray with her more. God created you equally. Be a nice man, worship, prioritize her, sacrifice yourself for her. She is perfect. She can do no wrong. You are her slave. She's your equal partner. Here, egalitarians. Just ask God for whatever you want, if it's a woman. Well, a man too. Here is your second virginity status, dear whore, right? I found Jesus. I'm transformed. I'm purified. I've changed. I'm not fucking around anymore. I have no time for bad boys when she hits the wall. Shocker. I was raised in a church. I know what's best for me. I follow Jesus. Yeah. And
Hold
then
on. Go back.
I'll go back. Okay, hold on a second.
Yeah. Okay. See that created equal? Yeah, a man is equal to a woman, just like a banana is equal to a donut.
I know, right? Yeah.
Okay.
So here is more, and we talked about this guy. I'm not going to bring up him today, but you can look into his content, guys. He has over 2,200,000 followers on his Instagram, and he probably also has a YouTube channel. And he's basically telling men he's the man of God. This is how he calls himself. And then he's telling men how to simp more and better for their wives, or just women in general. So women are phenomenal. You need to be more masculine. You need to man up. Yeah.
Man, she deserves.
Right. Yeah.
Why
And
can't the woman ever be the woman that man deserves?
right.
Oh,
Mhm.
that doesn't happen, does it?
So yeah, well, and then we see here the popular show. You know this, right? Like, look at how they are dressed. It's like you go to this show with your mini bikini, and you get more clout. The guys, they don't want to help. It's like, I don't understand this obsession with these harlots on the shows. Do the shows with men instead. Don't give them any attention. Seriously.
Why would I want to watch a show with a bunch of men around a table? That'd be boring. I wouldn't watch it. That's why the women are on there.
Well,
Men like to watch women.
When men like to watch women, but this spreads more delusion and entitlement in women. Other women look at these chicks, you know. It's like you have to think about the future a little bit here. Not high time preference, like Plutarch likes to call it.
But what do the men learn from these shows?
That women are delusional. If a lot of men are just either hate watching or they are simping for these girls. Some men will be from the red pill, say that, okay, these chicks are just crazy.
Simps are gonna simp.
Yeah.
But men with some rationality and wanting to find the truth are gonna watch a show and say, oh, yeah, she's nuts, she's nuts, she's nuts, she's nuts. Oh, and she's really nuts. Yeah. Okay, then they watch the next show. Oh, yeah, you know what? They're all nuts. I'm going to watch another show. Okay, let's see how they're nuts today. And then he's going to realize, you know what? Nawalt is bullshit. They are all
like that.
The same way. And then, oh, here's a Christian woman who comes on. Maybe she'll be different. No.
Nope. Good luck.
Yeah.
The delusion's sometimes even worse.
Oh, it is. So men learn from these shows.
So much better.
Women don't learn, no matter what you present in front of them. They don't look at this and see, oh, this is bad behavior. No, we need to promote and empower these women and accept them. And I'm Christian. Yes. And these wayward women, we need to rescue them and bring them back into the church and find them a good man to wife them up.
Well, this is why you see Rollo often says that this is a normal behavior. It's because it's been normalized. Okay, somebody is normalizing this behavior.
No. It's not the normal behavior because it's been normalized. the normal behavior because it's women's nature, uncontrolled, undisciplined nature to behave this way. Not because they've been
I see. Okay.
propagandized into it. It's because they have not had a father discipline order imposed to protect them from themselves. Remember that what
why
was
are you-
Aleister Crowley? Do what thou wilt. Every one of these women is doing what they want to do.
How
Yeah.
dare you suggest otherwise?
Well, but then, gosh, it's like I understand why guys are doing it in the red pill. It's like I'm struggling because it's still disseminating the whoredom, you know. It's still feeding into the propaganda cycle where, like, okay, sexual liberation. Here, these are the women that are out there. Let's promote them. Let's help them out. Because in the end, women are using it against men. They form the alliances with each other. They go for like sisterhood to pluralists, right? They don't care about men's issues, and they don't want to care. They can't
Again, not your
understand.
problem. Not my problem. These are not my women to save.
Yeah.
When I
You
was a
can
pastor, yeah,
empower.
I said things, but nobody listened, especially the women.
Mhm.
Hell, no.
You can empower women all you want. Oh, they're going to use it against me. I don't give a shit. Empower women all you want. They can do nothing to or against me unless I let them into my life. And you know, it's like, okay, I have my city walls up.
Mhm.
Christian city walls. The only way I'm in danger is if someone sneaks inside the walls close to my heart. And now they can attack me. Now, these women being empowered out there doing whatever they want, they pose no threat to me. I don't care. I don't care if all of them are promiscuous and rabid. I mean, I pray they would not do that, but it really doesn't impact me. They're destroying themselves. It's not
Well,
my
they are
job to
destroying.
save them.
Look, guys. Okay, a lot of them are single mothers out there. They're destroying their kids' lives too. I mean, we are
Sure.
okay. We
I
are
hope they don't do that, but I'm not going to rescue them. I can't.
right. Okay, you can't rescue them, but maybe there is something that in the media, independent media, we can do. Because if you are just giving them what they want, and what they want is attention, validation, cloud, you are
Right.
contributing. You are contributing to the same, like you are spreading the same feminist propaganda. You're helping them to spread it.
You know what? They're not going to change until it's too painful to not to change. Pain only, or change only comes through great insight, introspection, or, and that's rare, or suffering. Suffering makes you look at yourself. And when it's too painful to continue on what you believe, you will consider changing. No. The simple answer is most people don't change until suffering. They don't
Well,
reach the insight until they suffer. Nick and me didn't reach our insight into the nature of women and how messed up it is until we had to greatly suffer through divorce and loss of our children. Yes, maybe some of us have an inclination or an inkling of how things should be, but the amount of understanding you receive through suffering
what?
cannot be achieved
Okay,
any other
guys,
way.
I have a question for you. What would make women suffer?
Cats and boxed wine.
Lack, okay. It becomes down to starvation and lack of money.
Lack of money money and starvation. Okay. We've determined that women are cloud chasers. They don't need one man when they can milk a bunch of simps out there on social media, and they get a lot of attention
No,
from
when
the
the
simps.
wall comes, they can't do that as much anymore.
They can't do it as much
Maybe.
anymore, but you are relying here on the natural fact that is going to happen to them regardless, right? So it's just they can benefit more from, like, while they are still young, they can still sell their looks. What would really make them suffer is the lack of attention. Because if nobody is watching them, if nobody is paying attention to them, this will reduce their money. You know, even maybe not to the great extent, but come on, these are big shows, these are big panel shows where they are being promoted. You know, if you cut it out and say, like, no, we are not tolerating you because you need to change your attitude, your behavior first. These are our standards. Place some standards on them. Place some healthy boundaries on them. I don't care about them either. Then why should I promote them? Why should I promote them then?
Okay, if you do exactly what you're saying, it'll drive them nuts. They'll just become more and more bonkers. They won't change because they're bots. BOTS. Bride of the state. The state, big daddy government, will come in to support their ass, give them welfare, SNAP benefits, EBT, or
The state will run out of money eventually if you are not
then they'll
them,
change. The state will enforce them their child support rights and extract money from a man to give them money. As long as the state is there to either directly give them money or indirectly force a man to pay, they will not starve. Once the state collapses, if it ever does, and they're faced with absolute starvation and no roof over their head, okay, now it's too painful not to change. But at this point, they fucked things up so bad. Will there be a lineup of men to bail them out? Or to just use them for what pleasure he might be able to maintain and give him a few bucks to get him through a few days? Hey, you had the choice of being a good wife, but you messed that up. And now you're in this state. Well, you know what? Historically, kind of that choice between two W's. The wife, you want to be a wife or you want to be a whore? And
sorry, Ellen, it's
are
not
not banned from the kingdom of heaven.
Well, until women get what they want, they're not going to change.
Can we talk about the Baskerville solution a bit?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit. When women are deprived, you know, it's just unpleasant truth, but women need men. Need a man in order to, you know, carry over the rough times and be civil and devoted. If she doesn't need a man, she will stray. So whatever it takes for a woman to need a man before she messes up her life and her ability to pair bond and all that stuff, you know, that's a good thing. Remove her need to need a man, you're going to end up with feral women.
Well, and right now they don't need a man because they can milk a bunch of simps. They will stay feral. They've replaced one man for a bunch of simps and clout and money that they get from those simps. So the purpose of a man was initially to provide for a woman, take care of his family, right? The traditional man that we are talking about. Now women don't need the
Somebody will
provision.
always be there to rescue them. Right now, that's how they will always be rescued.
Now women don't
At least
need.
now.
Now women don't need provision from men because they can provide for themselves. They can become a whore. They can go on these big panel shows, promote more whoredom to younger girls, and promote the narrative that, oh, we are strong, powerful, independent. We don't need no man.
So,
except for they are actually relying on a bunch of sims. Like they don't need one man, they need a bunch of sims to pay for their lifestyle.
okay, but I don't think we're going to be able to change that.
I mean, we could try. We could try and say like, no more horse on the shows. You know, it's a little extreme, but you know, if you want the real change, if you want the real change in our society, what are you willing to sacrifice? Because it's like, if it's just okay, we want the change, but we don't really want to set any boundaries and standards for women, then it's like, no, the change is not going to happen by itself. Or you will rely on
These shows are not the problem. They are a reaction to the problem. And they're showing the problem. Maybe they're not improving anything, but some guys can look at that and say, hey, I saw that before. Maybe I should look out for that. So they're actually providing a service for men. Yeah, some of these women still get more clout and crap off that, but these shows are still providing a service, showing these feral women and what to look out for.
They're educating men. They are not educating women. It was not their. It's not the purpose of these shows to educate women.
I get it.
And educating women is next to impossible.
Yeah, I know.
And the women, the successful OF girls on these shows are the exception.
Yeah.
Most women on OF make little to no money. Most women in this country are overweight and entitled. And in order to feel beautiful, they get their nails done and they get their nose pierced and they get tats. None of those are working for them, but yet they're still doing it. I mean, you talk to any man. Oh, gee, do you care about a woman with painted nails? Does that make her more attractive? Hell no. Do you want her to have a whole bunch of piercings? Hell no. Do you want her to have a bunch of tattoos? Hell no. Yet, what are women doing?
All of that.
Yeah.
The truth is out there for women. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. You can show a woman the truth, but you can't make her believe it. And it's just reality. Come on.
I'm just a big supporter of the idea that you don't give women, the undeserving women, the unworthy women, the low quality women, the entitled, delusional, narcissistic women, what they want. And right now, what they want is attention. They want attention. They want clout. Just like ignore. You know, don't talk to them. There are plenty of topics to talk about among men. I'm actually glad that you guys don't have any women on your shows. Well, you might have a few in the comment section. You have me in the comment section, right? But you don't put women out there because it's not the show.
It's not our purpose.
Women, exactly. If the show for men is to educate men, then like you're not helping men by promoting more promiscuity, by putting these promiscuous women who are benefiting from men. It's really not helping men. It's not helping the middleman, like CDL was saying. He considers himself a middleman. It only helps the top 10% of the world male population. Not the rest of the guys. The rest of the guys are celibate. And you can criticize them for being celibate. You can say, oh, but they're incels. Oh, but they are spurks. Oh, but they are not working on themselves. What's the point for man to work on himself and improve when he knows that the legal system is against him, that all of the institutions are against him? His life, if he connects with the woman, she will rape him in the divorce court. She will alienate his kids away from him. She will ruin his life.
Yeah.
And yet Plutarch chose you.
Okay, that's a good lead in. Nick, question from you. For you. Do you choose a hot woman with a super hot body, big tits, nice ass, hair done up perfectly, beautiful makeup? I mean, she's a smoke show. Looks great. Or next to her, there's a mid. She's a 6. She's not fat. When you talk to her, she actually can engage with you. She's wearing minimal makeup. Not gonna turn any heads. But, you know, she's got that girl next door innocence. Which woman do you choose?
Which one brings me peace?
Which one do you think? The hot
Probably
woman?
the second one. Probably the second one.
Which one would you be happier with?
The one that brings me peace.
Which woman are you inclined to ask out?
Probably the second one.
Uh-huh. You want a good man? You know what? You don't have to be the top dog, most beautiful women, because a good man is not going to choose you for your overwhelming beauty, because that means you're high on yourself. You're a high maintenance woman, and you're expensive. You're probably not going to bring him peace.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, does that relate to Elena? Yeah, okay. She doesn't wear a lot of makeup. Yes, she's attractive, but her husband calls her what? An adjustable 7, am I right?
Sometimes he calls me 8, but
Yeah, okay.
I,
You
I
know,
don't know. I don't know.
she's not
I'm not a 10. I
doing
know
herself
that, yeah.
up to be that gorgeous woman. She just wants, you know what? She's a WYSIWYG.
I'm a nerd. I'm married to a nerd.
Oh, what is a WYSIWYG?
What is it?
What you see is what you get.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay,
Yeah.
This is me. Just take me as I am. She's not doing herself up to pretend to be something big, better, bigger, more attractive than what she is. She's WYSIWYG.
You know, it's funny because a lot of fat chicks, you could call them WYSIWYGs too, because you pretty much get what you can see. And then say, oh, I'm perfect the way I am. Just take me the way I am.
Yeah, she's WYSIWYG in the fun show house at the fair where it has that mirror that makes them look skinnier. That, yeah.
We got a comment from Tacticus. But if men are blamed for promiscuity, but women indirectly drive it, the usual suspects will be demonized and the system will continue.
Yes, the system will continue.
Tale as old as time, almost.
Yeah.
You know, since the entrance of sin, you've had these intersexual dynamics.
Yeah.
There's it ebbs and flows of more conservative attire and attitudes, but then you know you have times of being very lax sexuality in cult societies and cultures. And it's usually the lack sexuality that actually ends up destroying such civilizations and cultures.
We can't change the system. Okay, our show,
No.
The Resurgence of Sanity. Yeah, we directly impact 40, 50 viewers, something like that. We've been around long enough now that everybody kind of knows who we are.
Mhm.
The big names, I mean, they know who we are. They know we're here. They know we have a show. They watch our stuff. And sometimes our ideas are taken and then floated out at that next level. And then probably is seen by thousands of people. No, we don't get credit. We don't care. But even those thousands of people is a trivial amount of society. We're not changing the world.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're influencing people, and that spreads. And maybe at the end, maybe it reaches 100,000 people through various levels. And that's, or maybe in some small, minuscule way, we're making 100,000 people's lives better over the course of, propagating our ideas. That's it. That's all. 100,000 out of what? 300. What is the U.S.? 350 million out of the world population. What? 8 billion? Yeah, okay. Whatever. We're not changing the world, and we're not going to. None of us are. So do your bit. Influence a few people. Make their lives better. That's all you can do.
Yeah. Yeah. And then if bigger content creators want to pick up on some of these ideas because they have larger audiences, they are welcome to take our stuff and make it public and,
But it's not even our stuff.
Yeah.
These ideas, when the time is right, they happen here, someone else, 3 or 4 people in other places in the world without any interaction will come up with the same idea at the same time because the timing is right.
Yeah.
All the pieces are in place. And so we're not even saying that if you see what we say elsewhere, it came from here. We're not even saying that.
No. It could
Just
be
the time
somebody
is right
else.
for the idea to come out.
Yeah. Usually people tend to have similar ideas when they are faced with similar circumstances. Yeah, women create a society trends, fashion standards by what they tolerate, support, and invest in.
Yep.
Men generally don't care.
Well, we've been going on almost 2.5 hours.
Yeah,
now,
let's
Elena.
wrap it up, guys. Yeah,
Wrap it
thank
up.
you. Thank you so much for surviving this presentation. I had one more slide, but I chose not to show it. Now we are done here. Remember to please like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate your help and your kind support. Leave us a comment after we are done here. It helps with the algorithm, and also other people can see if you like the stream. Please leave us a comment and go follow the Resurgence of Sanity. I'm going to share with you our schedule here. So we have deep dive conversations on Saturdays on my channel at 9:15 a.m. Pacific. Then we can schedule occasional interviews that I'm running with people. They don't have to be on Tuesdays. It could be another day. Then on Mondays through Fridays, join me for regular workouts. And guys on the Resurgence of Sanity have 2 interesting shows for you. They are doing the exposing of narratives on Mondays, right? And on Wednesdays, you do the countercultural sexuality. Is that correct?
Yes. Wednesday's
Yes.
countercultural sexuality. Mondays exposing the narrative.
Perfect. Okay, yeah, please go follow them, subscribe to their channel, and we are done here, guys. Do you have any final
Hey.
thoughts? What?
Yeah. Alan Don Saggi doesn't like what we say, but he stayed around for the whole stream. Hey, I invite you to come back. Keep listening.
Yeah. We don't have to agree on everything. In fact, if you disagree, it actually makes a good conversation and debate. So yeah, go follow, definitely follow the Resurgence of Sanity. Listen to their videos and then tell them what you think in the comments. Okay, guys, any final thoughts, or we are out? No final thoughts.
I think we covered it.
We've covered it. Yes. Cool. Remember, guys, to like, share, and subscribe. I'm really tired now. We'll see you soon next time. Okay. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.
Elena's Barre, Elena's Barre, the best place on the internet, the very best by far.